Hey guys, it's your boy Nico here from the Small Axe Podcast. I want to show you how to use your small axe to build a lasting empire. You see, not everybody begins their investing career with millions of dollars, a huge network of investors, or the knowledge necessary to become successful in this space, and that's okay. What I focus on here on this podcast is helping you hone your skills, sharpen your tools to become the best investor that you can be. Now, I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy this show. If you have any questions or you want to reach out to me or the guest, feel free to do so. Love you guys.
All right, Small Axe people, it's me. It's Nico. Today you're going to get a solo episode. I'm going to hit you with some of my own personal experience, some of my own personal knowledge. What happened was I just got off a podcast interview with somebody else. Somebody interviewed me on their podcast. It's Charles Carrillo, great guy, and he's going to air that in probably 5 or so weeks from today, being mid-May. So he asked me a question. He asked me a question about balancing my W-2, right, my 9 to 5, my day job, with owning and operating multiple properties. And when I was answering that question, I felt like, I kind of wish somebody told this to me 3 years ago or 4 years ago when I started. So that's why I'm doing it here as a quick little podcast for you guys. So if you are considering becoming a multifamily investor, full-time or you rather not full-time, rather you want to be the lead general partner and in owning these small or mid-size properties, then you need to know some things. First of all, are you going to go, when I say small multifamily properties, I'm still talking commercial, so above 5 units, talking somewhere in the 5 to like 10 range or so, maybe even a few more units. But I'm considering mid-size, anywhere from like 15 to like, 70 units. I consider that mid-size, and even up to 100 is probably mid-size. And then above that, I would say would be larger multifamily. But if you're considering being an owner of these properties and operating these properties while having a full-time while having a full-time job, you could be in for a treat here, and you need to know what to expect up front. So if somebody would have told me this years ago, I would have said, who cares? I'm still doing it anyway. But I'm going to tell you now, just so you have the heads up of what to expect. I have to let you know that I own 3 different properties as basically the lead sponsor, meaning the lead general partner on these deals. I found them, I negotiated them, I got them under contract, I closed on them. Okay, so I am the lead here on these 3 different properties down in Florida. I work 7 days a week, and you're going to be working 7 days a week. Being a multifamily owner is not mailbox money at all. You have to understand this. Even if you have a third-party property manager, or if you have in-house property management, you still have to manage the manager, and it's more than just a quick phone call every day. It's more than just a check-in every once in a while. Making sure your property is functioning and performing to your business plan, to your standards, the way you want it to, and the way you need it to for your investors, if you're choosing to get investors, is a lot of work. I literally work 7 days a week. I am working early in the mornings. I'm working when I can at work, and I work after work on my multifamily properties. And to itemize and detail out every little thing that I do for you is just not going to be effective or efficient here for today's podcast. But I just want you to know that you are going to face a lot of challenges, and it's not all going to be roses, right? And you're going to have to make pivots and adjustments here and there. You're going to have to constantly be dialed in with what the property manager is doing. You're going to constantly have to direct the property manager on doing this differently, or changing that, or coordinating with general contractors when you're doing renovations or bigger CapEx projects. You're going to have to constantly be seeking lower rates on things like insurance. taxes. How can you save money on taxes? How can you save money on maintenance? Who can you get in for a better to do maintenance better and get lower pricing there? There is little things like compliance with the BOI now, right? We have to do filing for that. There is banking that needs to be done, people that need to be paid, books that need to be closed every single month. And it's more than just owning a property and watching cash roll in. If that's what you're thinking about when you think multifamily, then you need to be a passive investor in other people's syndications, which is absolutely acceptable and actually desirable. One of my best friends, he's been doing his own properties for years. He's a businessman. He makes good money and he buys properties, basically apartments, not buildings. He'll buy an apartment at a time. He'll renovate them himself. He'll get renters in there himself and manage them himself. And he's over it, guys. He's been doing that for 10 years or so, and he's completely over it. Now he just invests passively with me and potentially with others, but he's been doing that with me. So you have to just understand and be ready for a lot of work. And, I'm somebody that thinks I can work hard and I can work all the time, but you do lose steam from time to time. You lose steam with some serious challenges that might come up and decisions that have to be made, tough decisions that have to be made. There's little decisions that have to be made. There's things that have to be done all day, every single day to maintain this business because it is a business, okay? And if you're not ready to work long hours and consistently and without burning out, if you don't think you're going to burn out, you're crazy. But if you're not ready to do this, then I would consider doing something else. I am now 4 years into my journey. It took me 1 year to get my first co-sponsor deal, 3 years to close on my first personal deal or deal as the lead sponsor. And since that 3 years, I have acquired 2 more. So that is 3 total deals for me and 1 deal as a co-sponsor. And I attempted to raise capital as a co-sponsor on other people's deals, which I did not successfully do. So it's been 4 years. And in these 4 years, I am still excited and I still love it. And I know that this is what I'm going to do forever. But there are times that are tough and challenging, especially when you couple your full-time job with personal issues, with business issues, with partnership issues, with new requirements from new laws and the SEC and so many things going on, and the changing economic environment. There are going to be challenges. So you just have to be prepared for that kind of stuff. All of that being said, let's talk about the positives of owning multifamily real estate, because it is something that I firmly believe in and that I'm going to be doing forever. So imagine now that you have, I'll take my own scenario, which you might not be in this scenario. Imagine that you have zero money, okay? You don't have enough money to buy your own multifamily apartment building, whether that be a duplex or a 16 unit. So you have to find the money somehow. But you want to own these properties because getting your money or owning these multifamily properties is a way that you can eventually become financially free. So in order to own these properties, you have to find how to buy them. Sometimes you can raise capital from friends and family. Sometimes you can partner with somebody who's got the capital for it. Sometimes you can, get credit card. You could pull loans from credit cards, get a personal loan. You could take out a HELOC, right? There's a lot of different ways to get into the deal. Okay. And once you get into the deal, you're going to secure a spot for yourself in a deal through equity ownership. So whether you're putting money in, whether you're doing sweat equity, you're going to be getting a portion of a deal. Okay. Let's take my case. On the first deal that I did, I brought in some capital from my friends and family. And I put in some capital, which I actually borrowed from my brother. We sold that deal 20 months later, and I got more money out of it than I put in. I had ownership equity in it from being a general partner, and I had my investment in it. All of that money that came out got rolled into my next deal. And this is what Bill Ham calls the conveyor belt. So you roll the next money into the next deal, and you get more equity ownership in each deal. And every deal that you sell or refinance or pull money out of, you want to put it right back in. You don't want to take any money. you typically don't really want to pay yourself unless you're doing small asset management fees or little acquisition fees here and there just to kind of keep your business afloat. Like when I say business, I'm not saying the actual property. I'm talking about my small acts business where I seek properties and I need to continually, pay for services and different subscriptions like my active campaign account, my InvestNext investor portal account, et cetera, and just paying for services from VAs and getting lists and Fiverr guys to create artwork for me, for maintaining my podcast. All of this stuff costs money. Deal searching, deal finding, all of it costs money. So in order to make sure I'm paying myself and floating myself, I take little acquisition fees here and there. And some people take asset management fees. I have yet to take an asset management fee. So deal after deal, what you do is you just kind of stack up and try to get as much equity as you can in these deals. And over the course of time, you sell and you grow that equity. Once that equity reaches a certain point to where you have calculated, you can utilize that specific amount of equity to give you a certain amount of return to fill and meet your needs. Then you can consider investing that money passively or continuing to invest it actively and retiring from your job. Me personally, perhaps it'll take 10 years. I am looking at rolling all my money into these deals as much as I can, rolling them back in when we sell in a few years from now, rolling it back in to grow that equity. And what's your financial freedom number or your retirement number? It's going to be different for everybody, but here's the formula. You essentially want to take the capital invested. So let's back into this. I want $10,000 a month, let's say. This is a common one that people talk about. I want $10,000 a month in passive income. Okay. In order to get that $10,000 a month, you need to be getting $120,000 a year, right? In passive income, which would equate to $10,000 a month. So how do we get that $10,000 a month or $120,000 a year? We need to be getting paid. Let's take multifamily as an example. Let's say we were getting a 6% return on our investment. So let's take $120,000, 120,000 times 0.06. Sorry, 120,000 divided by 0.06, which is 6% return. We need to have $2 million. I'm trying to show you here, $2 million invested at a 6% preferred return. And they have to be making distributions, which is a whole other story and whole other podcast, which I could do another day. So for me, my financial freedom number, let's say, is $10,000 a month. I need to invest $2 million in a deal that is going to give me a 6% return yearly. Simple, right? So how do we get to that $2 million? In my case, again, it goes back to getting equity in deals, as much equity as I possibly can. And when we refinance and when we sell, we roll that money back in to get more equity in the next deal and the next deal and the next deal. And eventually you will have a couple of $1 million working for you and earning passive income. All right, guys, do not get discouraged. Like I did, I started off on a kind of a monotone, sad note, but I just want you to be sure that you know what you're getting into, because I see so many people give up. So get after it. Go buy some multifamily real estate. Know that it's going to take you 10 years. Know that you're going to be burning the wick at both ends. Know that you can do it, but it's just going to be a lot of work. Don't lose motivation. If you lose motivation, take a step back for a day or so, but never more than 24 hours if you can, and talk to somebody that's going to motivate you and get right back in the game. Make sure you are working your butt off. Beat all the competition. Outwork everybody that is out there just kind of floating around waiting for interest rates to drop or for things to change and economic things to change. Stop that. Get out there, make it happen. Go kick some butt. Nico loves you. Reach out to me at smallactscommunities.com. Love you guys.
All right. Hey, Small Axe community. I would like to say thank you for listening to another episode of my podcast where we show you how to use your small axe to build a lasting empire. Now, if you liked what you heard, it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, and write a review. Also, if you want to get in touch with me, go to my website at small-axe-communities.com. Book a call with me. And until the next episode, keep sharpening those axes.